The candles were still burning on the cake when my husband whispered it. Smile. Grab your bag, we're leaving. I thought he was joking. My dad's 60th birthday, balloons sagging on the ceiling, laughter echoing, glasses clinking. Why would we leave now? But then the car doors locked. My husband's knuckles were white against the steering wheel. His voice was low, deliberate. Your dad is hiding something big. That's when my stomach dropped. He wasn't joking. Looking back, the signs had always been there. My father was the kind of man people described as charming but difficult. He could fill a room with his voice, but behind closed doors, he was quick to rage, quicker to humiliate. I grew up learning to anticipate his moods like weather, storm or calm, never in between. And yet, part of me still believed he was just complicated, a flawed man, but my father. My husband never bought into the facade. He watched him closely at dinners, noticed the way money flowed in and out of my father's hands too easily, the calls he took in the garage late at night, the tension in his voice when certain names popped up on his phone. I brushed it off as paranoia. Until that night, he handed me his phone. On the screen, documents, bank statements, transaction histories, wire transfers in amounts I couldn't fathom, shell companies, offshore accounts. And then, the kicker. Names tied to known organized crime fronts. I remember gripping the phone so tight my nails dug into my palm. Where did you get this? Your dad left his laptop open, my husband said. He's laundering money, millions. And if I found this in 1 hour, what do you think the police will find? That's when I realized my father wasn't just hiding something. He was living a double life. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I felt the betrayal calcify inside me like stone. Years of suspicion, the sharp edges of his cruelty, the way he dismissed me, dismissed us, it all came into focus. He wasn't just a bad father, he was a criminal. And criminals slip. The plan came quickly, almost naturally. First, we secured everything we found. Printed copies, digital backups, safe deposit box. I wasn't just protecting myself, I was protecting the evidence. Second, I started watching him with new eyes. At family gatherings, I noticed who he spoke to, who slipped out with him for hushed conversations. At his office, I noticed files suddenly disappearing, drawers locked. I played dumb. I played daughter. Smiled when he mocked me. Laughed when he boasted about his business ventures. All the while, I was collecting, recording, tracking. And then, the final piece. My husband made the call. 10 minutes after we left the party, we gave the police everything. They didn't storm in right away. That's not how it works. They built their case quietly, methodically. But I knew the moment would come. And when it did, I made sure I was there. It was 3 weeks later, another family dinner. My father was in high spirits, bragging about a new deal he had closed. My mother sat beside him, smiling like always, as though willful ignorance was love. Then came the knock at the door, firm, rhythmic. He opened it, saw the badges. The color drained from his face. The agents stepped inside, their voices clipped, efficient. Mr. Hargrove, you're under arrest for financial fraud, conspiracy to launder money, and association with organized crime. My mother gasped. My sister burst into tears. And me? I watched him turn to me. His eyes narrowed, searching my face for an answer, for loyalty. But all he saw was silence. The confrontation wasn't loud. It didn't need to be. As they cuffed him, he spat. "This is your doing. You ungrateful." I cut him off with one sentence. Calm, precise. "You taught me never to trust anyone, Dad. Not even you." His jaw locked. He looked smaller then. Not a titan, not a mastermind, just a man whose empire had rotted from the inside. They let him out. The door closed, and the house was finally quiet. Afterward, people asked me if I regretted it, turning in my own father, watching him fall. But what they never understood was this: betrayal isn't just about secrets, it's about erosion. Years of being silenced, mocked, dismissed. Years of knowing something was wrong but being told you're crazy. He thought he was untouchable, thought his family would shield him, the way my mother always had. But I broke the cycle. I didn't cry when he was sentenced. I didn't visit him in prison. I didn't even flinch when my mother stopped speaking to me. Because I'd already mourned the idea of a father years ago. What I gained instead was freedom. The truth didn't just destroy him, it freed me. And sometimes, late at night, I think about his face as the cuffs closed around his wrists. Shock curdling into rage, then fear. That was the moment he realized I wasn't his daughter anymore. I was his reckoning.